Hello and welcome. Many forums use a collaborated presentation format where multiple areas give input and a single source pulls it together and formats it. This process can take hours, so the purpose of automated collaboration is to commonize the input format and reduce some of the admin workload. Reducing the time spent pulling together presentations is just one of the benefits. There are many others, such as being able to control the format of the presentation input, reducing the human error factor, and promoting collaborators to complete their inputs before a strict cut-off time limit. To set up the format, choose a suitable location within a shared area all collaborators have access to. It may be useful to create a text document reminding collaborators on the best practices of using your joint presentation. The area created should be your single storage area for all input. No separate folders are required, as the macro we are going to create will only search this one location. Once we have a storage area for our team's input, we need a separate location for the master file. This will be the front page of the presentation and will contain the macro to pull in all the other pages. Now we need to create a blank presentation and save it in the desired area. It needs to be saved as a .pptm file and not a .pptx. This needs to be a macro enabled presentation. It's worth remembering not to store the master presentation with the other inputs. This will create an infinite loop as the presentation tries to find itself. Nobody knows what will happen at this point. Now you have a suitable storage area, the next step is to commonize the format for the input. For the PST, we decided on the LMM format as it was widely known and used. By using this, we could create the template and roll it out to the team and control the input, giving us a quality level of data everybody understood. Each time a collaborator's input is saved into this area, it must be saved over the original, or the original should be removed. This is because the macro will not distinguish between different weeks. It will pull in all files within that area. Previous week's data will also be pulled in, so must be replaced. It is also possible to pull in very specific files instead of all files within a folder. This relies on the file names being very specific and that exact file name being entered manually into the macro. This will be shown later. Open up your master presentation. It may be blank, or you may have already added in any slides you wanted first in the presentation. Click on File and then Options. Select Customize Ribbon. Now tick the box next to Developer. This will bring up the developer toolbar within the presentation, giving you access to the macro options. This step will need to be repeated on any new computer you use. Your current machine will remember the settings. Once selected, click OK. You should now see the developer toolbar. Click it to show more options. Now select Macro Security. Once selected, a separate window should pop up. Then select Enable All Macros. Tick the Trust Access box, then click OK. Now click Macro. You will likely see a blank box. Type Pull into the macro name box. Then click Create. A new window should appear called Module 1. This is where you will enter the macro code. Highlight all of the text within the window and delete. Now go to your Google Mail, select Drive in the top bar. In the search box within Drive, type in PowerPoint File Pull Macro and select the file it finds. Alternatively, you can copy down the direct link found at the end of this video. Once the file is open, you will see the following code. Highlight all of the text and select Ctrl and C on your keyboard, or right click your mouse and select Copy. Go back to your Visual Basic window and press Ctrl and V on your keyboard, or right click and paste. The code will automatically format as it's pasted. The highlighted code shows the search condition. This code will search for all .pptx files. It can also search for older types of files by changing the extension here to .ppt. To change it to search for a single specific PowerPoint, you must know the location of this PowerPoint, know the extension and the exact name. You must enter the exact name within the quotation marks shown. For the purpose of this video, and to keep it simple, it's worth keeping it as a star.pptx and informing all collaborators that they must use this format and keep their files in the folders you have chosen. The pick directory and title commands need to be changed to the file location you have chosen for your team to put their input files into, not the file that you have your master presentation in. Now change the name of your macro by selecting within the shown area and giving it a name of your choice. I would recommend the meeting name. At this point you should save your work by clicking the save icon. If you wish to duplicate this process and create macros to pull in specific presentations, you can create a blank page for your code by selecting Insert and then Module. Now it's time to see if it works. Click the play button and select the macro you've just created. Now click Run. Using the window that has just appeared, select the input folder you have the input files stored in. You will not see the presentations when you get into the folder. Select OK when you are there and the macro will run. Now the macro has been created, you can run it at any time. Our cadence is to have all slides in for the PST at 12 noon on a Friday. The macros ran at 10 AM on a Monday morning, which will pull all of that week's slides into the presentation ready for the PST on the Monday afternoon. Now that the macro has been tested, this section of the video will show you how to run it. In your master presentation, select the Developer tab and then select Macro. Select the macro you wish to run and then click Run. As previously mentioned, there are multiple forums where a mixed group of people pull together a single presentation. Just some of these include the PST, the LMM, and gateway papers, including panel charts, finance slides, headlines, etc. For quick reference, you can find the macro code stored in the Google Drive using the search function. Search for PowerPoint macro, or alternatively use the link shown here. If you encountered problems whilst watching this video, would like to discuss its implementation further, or would like to send any samosas, please contact me directly. My name's Andy Bowen, and on behalf of the D8 program team, thank you for watching.